And finally, let's join the action between Steve Davis and Tony Drago.
Steve never lets anyone put him out of his pace. He's going to play his game at his speed. He'll take as long as he likes or run around the table if he wishes. And he has overrun this ball possibly. Boy, that's close, but I think he's there, Jim. I think he can see that 2-ball.
He can see it. Whether or not he can see the right edge to be able to play the billiard onto the 7's another story, because I think that's what was intended. Just roll that 2 over the corner pocket and play the billiard, bump the 7 in.
Indeed. A billiard. Now, how does the 2-ball develop for him? It's a medium hard cut. We've seen Steve take on much worse than this with ease.
Steve's edge definitely comes in the fact that representing the Mosconi Cup and Team Europe, he's had a lot of play under these circumstances, whereas Drago has to wait a year between World Championships. And that one certainly not in the heart of the pocket. And that's why Steve isn't in ideal position on this 4.
Has to let the cue ball run a bit to get back to the other side of the table. Now, I wasn't aware that Tony played in no other tournaments playing pool in the year but this one. Is that so?
To the best of my knowledge, if he's playing in any, nothing like this. He may play in some club events, but totally different under the TV lights and in front of the cameras.
If this is his only event of the year, it's surprising he can hold the stick. But he really represents himself very well on the pool table.
Well, now he plays snooker, Jerry.
Oh, I'm
he's
aware.
I mean, the circumstances aren't necessarily different to him, just the game. Tough shot here from the 6 to the 8 for Steve.
Has to watch out for the 9-ball. That can stop his progress back up for the 8. Oh, he slid over for it, but that's a pretty unfortunate outcome for Steve.
In an ideal world, he would have just feathered that 6 and maintained position, but he's just missed it. It's just the sort of shot that it can only ever go in or stay over the pocket. A bank is an option.
He's going back into the side pocket. Nope.
Well, that's not the worst result. He may leave Tony half a chance here at the 9, but Steve a little upset. That's a very familiar pace that we've come to recognize from Steve Davis around the 9-ball table. Watch the 9 here.
He was going for that 9-ball. He had a 2-way shot there. The 8 back all the way up in his corner for a bank, or the 9 off the carom. Neither went for him.
But Steve not left with anything easy here. He's got a possibility of a bank shot into the side pocket. A very difficult cut if he takes it on. No, he's gone with the bank. Now has he dropped on the 9? Has he ever? Look at this. What a way to start this best of 9 match with an old foe.
The crowd approves. Steve Davis draws first blood. First bead slides over to his side of the string. Tony watches the executioner's axe headed his way.
And it's too late to duck. He's all there at Davis's mercy.
Jim, he's overcooked this one a bit, but Steve just doesn't seem to mind difficult cuts.
Very familiar backhand, as you'd see it on a snooker cue. Firm grip. You see a lot of very loose grips where they hold the back end of the cue almost in their fingers as opposed to the palm of their hand as snooker players do. And the long 9 Steve just weighing it up. Well, in fact, sorry, the 8 is over the side pocket, Jerry. I didn't see it there. That's handy. Might have slipped that out on the table as he is walking by.
And he used top English on that ball, which spun out on him, so the ball did not come back out to the center of the table as he wished. But we haven't seen Steve miss a cut. And we won't yet.
2-0. Steve Davis in front of Tony Drago. A familiar storyline from the days of snooker.
So far, Steve Davis seems to have the table rolling his way. Even though he fouled, he's back at the table rather quickly. I'm going to be interested in seeing how he develops that 5-ball. Perhaps it goes, but it sure doesn't look like it from this seat.
I think it does, Jerry. I think the 5 does pass. Steve has had a good look at it, knowing where the 4 is. I think all he wants to do is get back over the right-hand side of the table, somewhere in the area of where he's showing. You see it's wide open.
Oh, yeah, he just measured that up, so he's got no problem. He does have to get there, however. He has a 7-ball to block him. Oh, and he slides past it instead.
Well, now he's going to have to negotiate the contact with the 9, so a deep draw shot.
Has to beat the 7-ball out of the way. It appears he has just enough angle to stun out for the 7-ball.
This would really put Steve Davis in the driver's seat, not only in this match, but in the group tables. In Group 9, the one that has the players the likes of Ramil Gallego and Warren Kiamko, some terrific players in that group.
Whoa, he scratched after the shot.
Foul shot, one hand.
That top English caught and drove him right into the corner pocket, Jim. Take a look at this. He was trying to cheat that pocket, and he didn't cheat it enough. The cue ball eats him.
Well, sometimes these bigger pockets can be the bane of your existence too. There, Steve sees the cue ball right into the same pocket, and that pretty much says it all. I was just talking about how it really puts Steve in command in his group. Now he's got an awful lot more work to do.
Certainly does, because that throws momentum over into Drago's camp. And Tony Drago takes the 9-ball down. Now trails interesting Steve Davis by 1 game. Our score is 2-1 in Cardiff.
If this was on a snooker table, these 1-ball battles, Davis would have won 99% of them.
Well, there's a very common safety in 9-ball. Leave the cue in the 6 on opposite sides of the table, leaving only the bank shot. Take away all possibilities of a cut.
Well, he purposely left that bank shot on. Little choice. And Tony Drago, waiting for the opportunity. When it presents itself, he pounced like a lion. And he has just brought himself right back into this match now. 2 racks apiece.
Well, it may go anyway. Indeed. But I'm not sure he's got a shot now, Jim. It looks like he's got to play a 3-8 unless it slides by.
I think you're right, Jerry. It's a 3-8.
This man doesn't think much of tough shots, does he?
Such is the enigma they call Tony Drago. If he took his time and had to think about what he was doing.
Well, he's already measured up the 6-9 combination, which will win the game for him. That was 3 shots away. And now he wants that cue ball just to land where he can draw that cue ball out to center table in the direction of the 6. Doesn't want to be too close.
No, he wants to leave a dead-on hit with a 6. This is a full ball hit. to park the 9 to the bottom of the corner.
Oh, Jim, he's missed that one. Bit off a little bit more than he could chew with that combination. Here you take a good look. 6 ball into the 9, and the 9 goes wide of the pocket and leaves a shot on the 6 ball for Steve.
I think in 9 ball, when you're playing combinations like that, Jerry, they're worth another look. And Tony Drago is just not accustomed to taking a second look at any ball.
Nice bit of reverse spin there by Steve. Brings the cue ball down into the company of the 7 ball.
This isn't going to do anything to hurt Steve Davis's confidence. He's made a few mistakes in this match, and yet he still finds him 3-2 in front. And his facial expression really says, well, I'll take it. Happy to be in front. I'd rather be 3-2 in front than 3-2 behind. I think he's going, if he's going this way, it's simply because that side cushion is in the way. You know what?
Oh.
One hand.
It was that tough, he tried to put the 3 into the 6. The 1 wide open, 2, 3, 4, no problems. The hurdle's in the 5, and he could open it right here. But he's got to hit the 9. Beautifully played. Tony wastes little time. Now the table and the balls are at his mercy.
Yeah, he's left himself a bit straight on the 2, so he's going to have to probably settle for a long shot on that 3 ball.
That shot that Steve tried to play there was a little effort that most of the top American players really play very well. Locking balls up, those little touch shots that seem to elude some of the players that don't get on these pool tables quite as often. And now the 4-9 there for Drago.
Tony unleashing some game, and that combination goes down. And Drago streaming back into this match. Although now he's got another combination he's faced with. And now the 4 ball may be a combination for him as well. 4 or 6.
Yes, he's asked for the rest. That's not going to make it any easier to get from the 2 to the 4.
Playing the rails.
And just a smattering of applause, but that's not Tony's best effort.
No, he's out of line here, and once you get out of line, it's really tough to get back in. Played the combination, but well, he's going to be okay. I thought he might be tucked behind the 9 ball, but he does have a window here, a big window. Needs to land on the 5.
He's landed on it, Jerry, but I'm not sure that's exactly what you had in mind.
Not exactly the use of the term that I had intended. And now we'll see if these 2 balls are frozen. The rules of 9 ball allow him to use a level stroke and strike right through the cue ball, but they must not be frozen.
I'd wager Tony wouldn't know that rule anyway.
Oh yeah, he's hitting away from it.
Well, he's left Steve the 5 sticking out. Not enough for him to be able to attack now. He's quite happy to come back to the table to contest the outcome.
Oh, what a beautiful cut shot from Steve.
Well, I didn't think he could attack. It didn't look like there was enough 5 sticking out there. What a shot from Davis.
He found the edge of the ball and got on the 7. Well, what a great finish of a rack this is for Steve. And an unfortunate fall on that that 5 ball for Tony Drago, who can only sit and watch his friend and opponent polish off the rest of this rack to stand up on the hill. Steve Davis will now be 1 game away from victory.
9 deposited, and Davis is but that 1 rack win away from going 2-0 in his group.
Steve made his decision on the bank, but he's missed it. He had great shape too on the 5. And Drago gets another opportunity.
I fancied Steve to get that one, Jerry.
So did I, but this has been a funny match.
It really has. It's been a roller coaster ride for both players. And why should it surprise anyone if it went right down to the deciding 9th rack?
Drago will race through the rest of this rack, racing ball after ball.
Every one of these rack wins is significant. If there are any ties in the groups, goes down to racks won and lost. So a 5-4 loss, even though it's a loss, it's not a bad loss.
You need every rack, and Tony Drago brings it very, very close here. 4-4. We have a race to 1 between the 2 snooker greats playing 9-ball. 1 is down. Now, will he land on the 1 ball with a good shot? I don't call that a good shot.
You know, neither does he. Thumbs up in a very sarcastic manner. But Jerry, there's a lot of pool to be played in this one.
Well, there is. There's several problems on the table. The 2 balls are problems that Tony just may have helped Davis solve.
Steve with the angle on this one with a little bit more options. And the way that he's played this, looks like he may try the same path.
And you can see from the overhead there, a thin cut into the 4 ball will send the 2 into the side pocket. Very well done. And he's finished on the 4 ball. Oh, he's got the 3. Three ball hanging mercifully right in the pocket for him.
Nicely controlled draw shot. He doesn't have to do anything special now.
Doesn't need to do much here. Move the cue ball as little as possible.
A game effort from Tony Drago. Looks like falling just short at the last hurdle. Nicely positioned on the 8. And Steve Davis will be going 2-0 in his group and looking a great bet to move into the elimination rounds.
Coming right at you. Whoa. He has really hit that ball. He took a risk there, Jim.
A huge risk, and Tony Drago smiles. But it's going to be Steve Davis that survives the scare. Tony Drago offers the hand in congratulations. Steve Davis, a 5-4 winner here